Here with Joel Comm, and Joel is an internet marketing guru. I've been hearing about this guy for years. I finally get the great opportunity to meet him, and welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, this is so cool to have the chance to chat with you a little bit about what it is that you do, and I know you do some unique things on the internet. Well, would you call it unique, the AdWords and whatnot now?
I'm positioned as the Google AdSense guy.
Yeah.
Right. I had the first book out there that really took the public by storm, and of course the book's a New York Times bestseller now, so that's a little unique.
That is unique, yeah. and you own the position, you own the dominant place in the mind.
Which is what you want to do, right? You want to carve out that niche so that nobody can challenge you. Because who would come out with a book right now and say they're the new AdSense king? Everybody would laugh and say, well, that's, this guy's already written the book on it. Who are you? So it's kind of nice. But I like to keep doing different things.
No, so is that where the bulk of what you're doing is coming from right now, AdSense, or is it?
No. I've been building websites since 1995, and I sold a site to Yahoo. I produced.
What did you sell to Yahoo?
Yeah, on my game site, classicgames.com. It's a multiplayer game site where people can hook up and play chess, checkers, bridge, backgammon, hearts, spades. This is 1996. Okay?
Wow.
The dawn of the web. And Yahoo bought it. It's Yahoo Games today.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did you do pretty well on the deal?
Yeah, it was a seven-figure deal. So.
No kidding. Good for you. Wow,
happy.
That's pretty exciting. Now, did they approach you, or did you approach them?
They approached me, actually. I was out trying to approach other search engines, and Yahoo's the only one I didn't get to.
For sale. You were looking to sell it.
Yeah, we thought this needs a suitor. It's, we've built it where it's ready to be taken out, where somebody could really do well with it. And Yahoo was the only one we didn't contact. The others, lagging behind, they didn't understand that they weren't just search engines, that they would need to be more. They would need to be a portal to the web and provide additional content and services. AOL, Excite, InfoSeek, none of them got it. But Yahoo contacted us, and we said, sure, we'll talk.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, did you have a broker that was out there looking for those deals, or were you looking for the deals yourself?
No, that was me. Yeah.
Really? No kidding.
At that phase, 1996, who would have known how to even broker that? Nobody was more intimate than I was with it, so I'm the marketer. I'll market.
Huh. So you started by building websites, 1995, and who did you build websites for?
Me.
For yourself?
Yeah. We wanted to create our own content-based sites.
Several of them.
Yeah.
See, that's what. That's part of what I'm looking to wrap my mind around, is because most people think, oh, okay, I've got a website. You had several websites.
Well, but it started with one, right? It always starts with one website that you can really put yourself into, commit yourself to.
What was yours?
So that was worldvillage.com, which is 13 years old now.
Huh? And the purpose of what was it?
It's a family-friendly portal. We did software reviews from a parent's perspective. We had clean chat rooms that were monitored, reviews of other family-oriented websites, and it still stands today. We added games to it, live, the chat rooms,
and was that a profitable venture that was?
Yeah.
Okay. And then from there, you said what?
I met a young programmer in California who had developed the foundation for this game site. And I said, and he had 3 or 4 people playing on it at one time. I said, all right, you got the brains, I'll bring the brawn, you keep coding, we'll develop it and brand it, I'll market it. It's my first joint venture, really. And ended up selling that.
And that's the one that you sold
that
to
Yahoo bought.
Wow. Yeah. And then from there, what? Because it must have...
more websites. I built a shopping site called dealofday.com. Because I was passionate about saving money online. I figured if I was, other people would be as well, and I was right. The site's now, 1999 is when we started it, so it's 9 years old. And I'd say about 25 to 30,000 people a day come through the site to find deals and bargains and discuss with other members the things that they've found. And we have affiliate links to hundreds of different merchants, so people will go through our link, they'll buy product, we'll get commissions on that, and it continues to grow.
Huh, and so where does the bulk of your revenue come from today?
Boy, we've got so many different revenue streams. I'm a big proponent of multiple revenue streams. And so we've got websites, we've got AdSense revenue, we've got banner ad revenue, we have our information products and our courses, ebooks, products that help people get their website set up, there's just so many streams. There's affiliate revenue. It just all comes in.
Now, do you do consulting work at all, or is it mostly through the products that you deliver?
It's mostly through the products. My time is very limited, and there's just not enough of me to go around.
How do you spend your time? What's an average day for you?
Usually we'll come into the office. We have offices in Loveland, Colorado. Beautiful office space. Out my window, you can see the Rockies. Miles and miles of mountains. It's just gorgeous, very inspiring. I'll come in, I'll check my email. I hired a president to my company recently so that he would actually run the day-to-day operations and build the business. After 13 years, you could experience some burnout, as you might imagine. So I'm in the role of CEO right now, and that's allowed me to pull back and do the things that I enjoy doing most, which is speaking, traveling, brainstorming with my team, coming up with some new ideas and products. And then every now and then I have to get in the trenches. I answer email. Customers will sometimes write me directly, and ones that require a little more care. I want to add that personal touch.
Now, what were you looking for in a president when it came? I mean, because that's a big role to hire for a company. So what
That's a
kind
great
of
question. Actually, the president of my company, his name is Ken Burge. Ken was the co-founder of the company back in 1995.
Oh, really?
He launched worldvillage.com with me, and then we weren't making money right away, and he wanted to take a job with Microsoft. So he went to work for the evil empire and was there for a long time. We hooked up randomly. Well, I would say randomly. Everything happens for a reason. He contacted me via Facebook after, I don't know, 10 years of no contact. And I said, hey, why don't you come out to Colorado and just hang out with me for a couple days? And he did. And while he was here, just things happened. And before you knew it, we were just swept into this, you want to come work for me type thing? And it worked out, and he's moved his entire family from Dallas, and it's just been an incredible blessing for me because I've been able to turn over the types of things that I'm just not good at doing and I don't want to do. I'm not effective, and he's a systems and a processes and a people manager. So we're really growing now like never before.
It's a good combination.
It's a great combination.
Now, I heard you say Facebook. I'm just curious, total aside, are you into the social networks? Do those work for you? Being somebody who makes a lot of money in the internet, because I've, I talk to people like, you probably know, gosh, what's his name?
Oh, yeah,
Eben.
Yeah,
oh yeah, him.
Evan Pagan.
Evan Pagan, yeah. And I talked to Eben, and I said, Evan, are you into the social networks? And he's like, you know what, I haven't figured those out. I'm sure somebody will someday. And I went on the social networks, like we went on Facebook for a little while, but it was so hard to control what was being up there, and it had to be monitored all the time, and we had competitors that were coming on and launching things and launching there, and it was like, wait a second, this is not how we want to brand our message, and there's no control of it. Do you use that? Do you make money? Have you made money on the social networks?
In terms of making money with them, they're good as a promotional tool. We've got, I don't know, something like 3,000 Facebook friends, and I've got a couple groups, fans of Joel Comm type page, excuse me. And so when we post to those groups and say, I've got a new video, or here's a new product, then some of the people who receive that are going to come to my website and purchase. So as a relationship building tool, I'm finding it to be very effective. And I'm also using Twitter. I've got something like 1,700 people following me on Twitter now. So whenever I type in a tweet, as they call it, a certain number of those people are going to be online and looking, and they'll see something. And so I can put a link in there that will send them wherever I want them to go. And if they're interested, they'll go take a look.
You didn't find it all the same challenge that we had in terms of managing it and other people going on there promoting their stuff to your database? Or because I'm in a slightly different business. I'll tell you what we did. We were running seminars with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people sometimes. We went in there and we said, hey, come and join this. And all of a sudden we had a lot of people joining. We were developing a lot of people very, very quickly. But then we'd have a bunch of people coming on and launching their own events and saying, hey, you've got to do this. And then pretty soon we find, the other big name speakers coming on and saying, hey, I've got this event. And it's like, wait a second. This was supposed to be something that we were...
On your area.
On our area,
yeah. See, but you can monitor that. You can moderate it and make it so people can't post to certain sections. And
oh, really? Can you? You can make it so people can't?
With Facebook, it's very... You can lock down your group.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we just might not have had the right people on board at the time when we did it. And,
it's pretty easy to do, though, and I do recommend it.
Huh. Okay. So so you said that you have so many irons in the fire right now that it's hard to say where the bulk of the revenue comes from.
We are getting ready to launch so many different products, some software products, all in different niches for basically internet marketers. I've got a new book coming out August 1st. So one of a kind, and we're really excited about that.
Can you say what that's about?
Yeah,
now,
it's called Click Here to Order, Stories of the World's Most Successful Internet Marketing Entrepreneurs. I just came back from the Book Expo, the annual expo of all the major booksellers in LA last week, and we're in the Ingram catalog, which is, they're the ones that say, okay, here are the books that all you booksellers need to order. So it's a narrative on the history of internet marketing, the rise of the information product and the teleseminar and the webinar. And it's really a fascinating look at the stories of the people, not so much how they're making money, but like Armin Morin was a vacuum cleaner salesman. So you learn that in his story, what it was like to knock on doors. Mike Filsaime was a car salesman. Jeff Mills was a youth pastor, and all these stories are woven together. And it's a great read.
So did you go out and interview these people? Or
Yeah, interviewed all of them, and then took it and didn't do chapter 1 Marlon Sanders, chapter 2 Mark Joyner. We took a narrative and did a historical look at it, so it actually tells a story. And
interesting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Now, who did you find? I mean, who were the most successful people out there in your estimation?
John Reese.
And when we talk about successful, are we in terms of contextualizing it? Are we talking about information?
We're talking about information products.
Okay.
We're talking about a movement which is unintentionally underground. It's not there to hide. It's just that most people don't know. When they think of doing business online, they think of eBay, Amazon, Google, Yahoo, all the big names, right? Zappos. But there are people like myself that struck our fortunes at home, in our shorts, in front of our computers, millions of dollars. And so this is their story. So people like Mark Joyner and Marlon Sanders, John Reese, Armin Morin.
Now, when you qualify the successful, did you qualify it in dollars and cents, what they're bringing in terms of total revenue, or was it?
Well, all of them are millionaires, so that was important, that these are people that have made millions online, and they have carved out a name for themselves in the niche, so that anybody within the internet marketing realm knows who these people are.
They know who they are, because like you look at an Eben Pagan, and his claim to fame was that he was doing 20 million on
right, Double Your Dating.
Yeah, Double Your Dating, which is, I mean, it's good content and stuff. It's I really like Eben. I think he's a real nice guy.
Very bright.
Yeah, very intelligent. Yeah, seems sharp. Now, are there people that are doing as much or more? Some of these people you interviewed, or are they?
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely people that are doing that kind of money.
Who were you looking at was doing the most revenue?
Armin is doing a lot of revenue.
Is
I know
he?
Armin's made something like 30 million with his internet business.
Annually?
No, I don't think he's
total,
annual, but he's growing up there. I
Yeah.
think Mike Filsaime is going to do 8 figures this year. There's a lot of these guys that are just doing really well.
And what type of content are they delivering?
It's information products. Mike Filsaime made his name through butterfly marketing, which is essentially a script that makes the whole sales process easy. It's a system that works again and again. You just kind of plug in your own product, whatever it is, and using his system, you can build a profitable information product business. Armand makes his money with software for the most part and his seminars. And each one of these guys, Michael Fortin and John Carlton, have made their millions as copywriters. So they'll charge maybe $25,000 to write a sales letter because their copy is so good.
Yeah.
It sells.
Huh.
So each one of them, has got their own area. I've made my money with my websites and with content and with AdSense and a dozen other ways that we monetize that content.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about AdSense and how that works?
Sure, it's really simple. Basically, Google sells ad space, and people who want to get traffic to their website are willing to pay.
That's the pay-per-click advertising.
Right, it's pay-per-click, a certain amount per click to get that traffic to their website. Because they have this massive inventory of ads, they say, okay, if you'll build a website and slap our code on your pages, we'll deliver some of this inventory of ads that we have. And anytime somebody clicks on one of those ads on your website, we'll share the revenue with you.
So you got to be driving traffic to your own site in order to make that effective.
Right, you need to have traffic to the site. And that's the way to success to any website. Doesn't matter how beautiful your site is and how great the content is. If you don't have traffic to it, then
Now, but are the checks really worth it? I mean, in terms of, like, I've got a brand and I want my brand out there, and to put other people's ads on there seems to cheapen my brand. That's my perspective. Is it worth it to do it on your main site, or should you build sites just for the purpose of doing the AdSense?
It's a really good question. In fact, we have ads on a lot of our content sites, but one of the ones we don't have it on is my blog at joelcomm.com, because the central message of that, I really want to keep focused on what it is we're communicating. But on my shopping sites or my reviews of other people's websites, I have plenty of AdSense on there because there's no mixed message. They're there for the content, and if the ad adds value and they want to click it to see what else is out there, then we make money with it as well.
That's fine. And that money was adding up. It looked like you were making almost $500,000 a year.
Yeah, it's very significant.
And passive, well, you call it passive income, but you're still, is it really passive because you're driving traffic? You're doing something to drive traffic to the sites?
Most of my traffic is actually very organic. I've been doing this for a while, and I know how to construct a blog entry so that the title of it has the right keywords in it, so when people type in Google, we're more likely to come up top. But I don't really do much paid advertising.
Really?
Yeah, it's something that I know Ken, who's the president of the company, wants to do some because he wants to drive traffic to some new sites, and I said, yeah, go ahead. Play with it, but for 13 years, I probably don't spend more than $100 a month on pay-per-click.
You're kidding?
No.
Huh. So, wow. So, and so when you say it's organic traffic that's being driven, what do you
Natural search engine traffic.
Huh. Just because you know how to get to the top of the search engines.
Right.
And because it's well positioned, I guess. I mean, you'd have to, yeah. Can you give me an example of some of the types of sites that you're driving? Because you must have a great hook that fills a great need if somebody's going.
Well, it's kind of, all right, for my blog, for example, I'll try to write about things that are relative to current events, or perhaps using the long tail approach, keywords that people are searching for, but there's really not an answer. I did a blog entry, a couple months ago, about an experience I had with an airline. I think it was American Airlines.
Right.
And the title of my blog entry was American Airlines Customer Service Failure, or something like that. Well, that was the title. So that shows up in the title tag on my webpage, the title of the blog entry, and then here's all the content. So it's very keyword rich. If you type in American Airlines Customer Service, I'm going to come up on that first page.
No kidding.
Because there weren't a lot of articles written about it, particularly. You would think there would be more, but there weren't. And I had an experience that I wanted to share. And it's great because there's all these responses to that blog entry for other people. Oh,
sure.
They're commiserating with me.
Oh, yeah,
they
for sure.
understand how bad this was.
It's bad everywhere, and it's not just American.
It's not. I think I've also done one for United, and that gets traffic as well. But I think as long as you're writing about something that comes from here,
right, is real,
then there's going to be people who are interested in it.
So they click on that, then what? How do you train?
They end up at my website and they read it.
They end up on your website, they read it, and then how does that turn into money?
Well, on my blog, it really doesn't. It's just because it's more of a personal thing. But let's say they're searching for a coupon for their Purina Cat Chow, and they type in Purina Cat Chow coupon. Then they might end up at my Deal of Day shopping site, and they'll end up at one of our forum posts that somebody wrote, and the title of it was Purina Cat Chow coupon. Right, and now they've got an answer, and there could be a coupon code or somewhere where they can print one out. Well, on that page, I've got multiple revenue streams going on. There's banner ads at the top that we get paid every time they display. There might be a pop-under ad that shows up under their browser window that we get paid for displaying that. There's AdSense on the page. There's other contextual ad services that will appear throughout the page. And
That's fascinating.
Yeah, anytime anybody clicks on one of those, we get paid. So it happens in small increments, but it adds up.
So could some of these sites that you're building just be forum type sites? Just comment?
Love forum sites. Love it because it's all user-generated content.
Right.
They do all the heavy lifting. Once you've got it set up and you've gotten some traffic to it, and of course we have ways that we do that, it's AdWater makes its own website, right? They drive it. The members are involved in the conversation.
Would you need to add more and augment that site to really make it a useful site? Like I've been to, and I think of my own interest right now, and where I've seen things like the AdSense, and like I'm a martial artist, been a martial artist all my life, and so I'll go to, I'll be looking up martial artist names. They'll pull up a site, and it'll be a forum, and the forum will have all the controversies of the day or whatever
Right.
it is. And so I read the forums, and then you look on the side, and there's all these ads.
Right.
So this is exactly what you're. Now on that site, oftentimes they'll have video downloads, free downloads, and other things that you can
Right.
do. Is there value to building a site with those other things other than just the forum?
Sure, absolutely, because you're adding value to the end user, and what you want is for your site to be sticky, right? That means they're going to want to come back again and again because they received something of value there. So the community discussion is one thing, but if you're also providing them with videos or audio downloads, more content that's going to enrich their experience, then they're more likely to set a bookmark to that site and come back more regularly.
So could you actually make all your money from the site just from the AdSense, and have the forums on there and the videos or whatever? Because I mean,
Absolutely.
you look at some of these things and it's like, how do you monetize it? And I was talking to, I don't know if you met Ruben Buchanan before, but if you haven't, I should introduce you because he's a really interesting guy. He talks about how to get your business ready for raising capital and how to prepare it for an exit strategy. Very, very sharp guy. But he was talking about YouTube and how YouTube was, hadn't made any money, but they had these 75 million people in their database or that were visiting the site,
Right.
And they had all this strategic value, and it ended up selling for what, something like
Billion, 2 billion or
1.7
something.
billion or something like that. While they were still
A
not
lot of zeros.
yeah, it's a lot of zeros. But they weren't making any money, and they sold for that just because there was this long-term strategic value, and somebody figures that, hey, we can figure out a way to make money
And
with it.
YouTube is still an issue with all the money that Google spent on it. They're still figuring out how to monetize that.
Yeah, it's like,
but they
how
got
do
the
you-
eyeballs.
Yeah, how do you do it? And so when I look at some of these, and I just go back to the martial arts sites, the ones that I look at, and I do see those things, these guys could really be rolling it in and making bank on these. I mean, could you do it on one website and make a lot of money, or would it be the
Yeah.
multiple websites?
Oh, you can make a killing with one website.
No kidding.
I know people that are making $1 million a year, clearing $1 million a year with one website.
AdSense.
AdSense alone. Yeah.
Really? Really? And so yeah, your goal would be to continue to populate it, to continue to keep things that make it more and more sticky on there,
Right.
while continually getting the search engine rankings. But I mean, if you've got a forum on there where people are talking about relevant discussions, topics of the day, will that alone drive it to the top of the search engines? Or?
Yeah, very frequently. I mean, we don't have to do much with our shopping site. It's pretty much invite people, they post, they discuss, and every time they create a page, it gets indexed by Google.
Now, is there an interlocking, working between the sites where there's some value that's derived from your other sites by one site, or could they just be standalones? Like for me, I'll just ask from what I do. Like if I did something in personal development, people could post whatever they want on a forum type site. They could post things about competitors. They could post things about the things that are going on in there. So there's not really a whole lot of control. Once again, I go back to control of brand.
You want to have
But-
moderators, though. If you have a forum
Of
right,
any kind.
of any kind, you want to have moderators, and usually those moderators will volunteer for you. Usually they're people that are engaged with what you're doing.
They care
have a
about what you're
relationship. They
doing.
care very much, and they kind of own it.
Right.
They take it's like their little baby, and you love people like that because they'll do the job for you.
Well, I had that. I mean, even when we did Facebook for a little while, we put it up, we took it down, but we had people policing it without even asking them
They
to
got
police
your
it.
back,
Yeah,
because they love what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's it's really fascinating. So when you look at that, so you get the AdSense going on. What other things are you doing to really make money out there on the internet besides the AdSense? Is that
Well, there's we'll just talk about content monetization. Okay, just on a site that we've got AdSense, we'll also be running banner ads. We'll use widget bucks.
banner ads for other people, for other people's products?
Yeah,
or is
like
banner-
we'll use an advertising, an agency, right? And they'll give us a piece of code, and they'll deliver ads to the site, and we get paid every time one of those ads shows
So
up.
they tell you they say, hey, we've got these people that want to place ads that are appropriate ads for what
Right.
it is that you're doing.
Right.
So
But that
the-
happens, it's on a daily basis. I mean, I don't even know most of the advertisers that show up on a site. We just told them, no adult stuff and no alcohol, tobacco, no violent stuff, and they just
Yeah, I hear
deliver
you're a
ads.
family guy. I hear
Yeah,
you-
I don't even know what shows up, but as long as people don't write and complain about the ads that are showing up, then I'm fine with it. So, that's one way. Monetizing content, a dozen different ways. All right, and there's a whole litany of ways we do that. Creating our own information products, both educational products and software products that are going to enrich people's online experience. Speaking at seminars, doing our own courses. There's just so many ways to make money online.
Huh.
So many. And I just keep discovering more and more.
Now, when you got a bunch of content, like and I mentioned this to you just in the hallway as we were walking up here, we're looking right now, I've got tons of content. It's like, how do you take that and then transfer that to the internet? I mean, if you were in a position like mine, where you've got content that you want to go out and you want to get out there, where would you start? What would you do? Because you need some experts to guide you through the process.
You've got video, right?
I've got video, I've got audio, I've got all sorts of stuff, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to put it out there for free, or do you want to build a member site?
We want to build, I'd like to be doing 20 million in internet product sales.
Okay. So, one thing you could do is put it all behind a gateway, a member site. Give away some stuff for free. Do you have a personal blog?
We've just started video blog. Video
you need to be blogging.
It.
You need to be posting content on a regular basis and continue building that relationship with people, and then offer some sort of online coaching club where they get access to the videos and the audios and new books and reports and special deals that you'll give them, the discounts on conferences or on traveling with you or what have you. And they're willing to pay a monthly fee. We launched recently our own social network called the Top 1 Network for the top 1%, and producing a 16-page full-color report. I noticed that you're producing a newsletter as well now. Yeah. We just started ours, and that's we're really over-delivering. It's $29.95 a month. They get the issue, they get a DVD, and they get access to the social network. Well, that's the path to generating the type of money that you're talking about, right? Because the more people that are subscribing to this and are happy because they're receiving value each month, that's recurring monthly revenue.
Now, when you do you do in your courses, because I know you teach courses, and you gave me the nice gift of your audios and stuff. We can't wait to listen to those. When you teach people, do you teach primarily AdSense, or do you teach other things as well?
This particular course focuses on content creation and monetizing that content.
So you have a specific course that does that?
Yeah, this is AdSense Premier. Is all about building a content-rich website and monetizing that content.
In many different ways.
In many. Yeah, AdSense is just the beginning. As I told people here, AdSense is like the easy button. It's the simplest and fastest way to start monetizing your content, but there's so many ways. There's no shortage of monetization techniques.
What would you say is the top 3?
For easy, I would say AdSense. I would say getting with a banner network, that they're delivering banners and maybe pop-unders to some of your site, and affiliate programs where you're linking to merchants' products with a specially coded link that tracks back to you. So if they go through the link, let's say I've got a link to an Amazon.com book, even my own book. So they go buy my book, they go through my link, they purchase it, and Amazon knows that that purchase came from me, and they'll pay me 8% of the purchase price.
Now, the knowledge that you have is so specialized, because I listen to this and it's like, wow, I've got a very successful seminar company. We do very well in the world of seminars. I've got other things going on, other businesses going on as well. I know nothing about what you're talking about. It's like, I'm just toying with the tinkering with the edges of it, and it seems like there's so much there to learn. If you were in my shoes, for me, it's like I want to develop a team of experts that are going to hold my hand and take me through the process.
That's exactly it.
That's
what I would do. I would bring on a team of experts, and I would say, all right, here's what I want to do.
Where would you start? If you were me, would you start with?
I would strategize. I would do a free to paid member site. I would get some of this content you got digitized and prepared for a website, right? So you can deliver it, have a beautiful front and back end created, and give away some of your good stuff, right? Never hurts to give away good stuff, and then provide people with an offer to get even better stuff and more of the good stuff behind this wall.
In terms of developing the team of experts, though, who would you bring on board? Who would you like if you?
It's hard to find good people.
Is it?
I got to be honest with you, it really is, and I feel very fortunate to have the team that I've got. But you're asking me how to hire somebody.
It's like because there's so many people out there pitching, and they say bring on a consultant. I'm a little wary of consultants. It's like you've been in business for a while.
Yeah, it's always good if you can sit down with somebody and pick their brain for a day. That's a good thing, because that'll give you some direction, help you flesh out your ideas, but I wouldn't go beyond that. You know, once you've kind of brainstormed it out, then you need to bring the right people on.
Would you bring on a partner to partner with that and give up a portion, or would you hire the consultants to lead you through it? Or
Well, that kind of depends on what you'd want to do. You know,
Yeah.
if you're looking for a partner, or if you'd rather be autonomous and say, you know what, I just want to pay people to get this done. There's a lot of qualified people out there. So, you know, you're looking for a webmaster that can handle the actual building of the site. You're looking for a graphic designer that can make it look attractive, because there's a lot of bad looking websites out there. You want it to be classy, right, and have a nice visual appeal. You're looking for a search engine specialist that knows how to create the pages in such a way that you're going to get higher search engine rankings. You're going to need somebody that's very well versed with e-commerce, so that they can handle the whole back end, the whole purchasing process, and be able to manage autoresponders and your shopping cart. There's a lot of
a
different
lot of
pieces.
different components that you got to bring together to make that happen.
You need a killer copywriter. You need somebody who can write copy that's going to sizzle and sell whatever it is that you're going to be offering.
Right, right. So it seems like, wow, there's so much. And
But you don't want to wait, because look, you've got you know, in your case specifically, and I think everybody, they've got something to offer, right? It's not going away. The internet's here to stay. So.
Now, would you
what do look for?
would you suggest going to school and learning this stuff simultaneously as hiring the experts, or just hiring the experts and letting
I
them
would just,
teach you?
yeah. Do you want to learn this stuff?
No, not me personally, but
Yeah.
I've got a team. You know, I've got the managing director. I've got other people that you can, you know, educate simultaneously, so they can at least.
What I would have is somebody that's kind of doing research for you, and, you know, exploratory, figure out, all right, what's the best way to proceed with this, and ask them, you know, would you be interested? We just sent a guy to a conference on building landing pages. You know, they're critical, and we want this guy to be world-class in copywriting and building landing pages. So we said, you know what, go to this conference, and when you come back, tell us if this excites you. And it did, but if it didn't, we'd say, okay, so let's figure out another place that we can use your talents and skills.
Now, would you go hire that expert that taught the class then at that point, or would you just take the knowledge they glean? I guess it depends on the situation.
Yeah, but I would trust that this guy is, you know, if he's excited about it, he's going to soak it up, and he's going to become world-class, and that's what we want.
Huh. Now, somebody that's not in my position, somebody that's just starting, they don't have their idea, they don't have their content, they don't have their product. What do they do? Where do they start?
Well, they got to figure out what their content or product is going to be first, right? What do you build your website about? I think people frequently come at it from a backwards approach. They say, what can I do to make money online? And then they'll chase a niche that sounds profitable, but their heart's not in it. And I know you're all about profiting from your passion, right? And I think you've got to start there instead of saying, what can I make money doing? Saying, what do I want to do? What am I good at? What am I passionate about? What's my knowledge and skill set? And then say, okay, I'd like to build a site about fly fishing. You know, I'm nuts about fly fishing. I consider myself an expert in the field. And how do I communicate that passion to the rest of the world via a website? Then, okay, boy, I don't know anything about design. I don't know anything about coding a site. That's when you outsource. That's when you find people who do know and that can help you. And frequently, those very basic tasks of setting up a website can be done very inexpensively. I talk about sites like elance.com and guru.com and rentacoder.com, and there are people that can shoot up a website in 10, 15 minutes and have it ready for you to start posting content. It doesn't have to be agonizing. But a lot of people hit that wall right there. I don't know how to put up a website, and they never move past it, which is a shame because they've got content and they've got a passion, and that needs to be shared.
Now, I've heard you say a couple of times blogs, and blogs seem to be big with you. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because blogging, I mean, that's new to a lot of people. It's new to me. I mean, it's, yeah, I don't know if you know Dave Lacani, who's downstairs talking.
Yeah, Dave's a friend of mine.
Yeah, he's like, Chris, you got to get your video blog going. You got to get your video. So we started some videos, and we're recording that. But it's like, what are blogs really all about? What is that? How's it? What's the usefulness of a blog?
A blog is a website. That's all. But it's a website that it's easy for anybody to quickly publish directly to their site. You basically have an administrative interface, the back end, where you just type in the entry, whatever your title's about. You know, so my time with Chris Howard, and then I'll write. You know, I sat down with Chris Howard for this interview, and we talked about blogging. Then I'll hit publish. boom, instantly it builds that content into my template. So now I have a live web page with that article on it.
And what's the value to that? What's the value to the liveness?
Well, it's instant, right? And it adds a page to your blog. I've been blogging since 2003, and I've done something like 1,400 entries.
And is it the stickiness of it that makes it very
It
useful?
is.
Or
People become fans of your blog. They subscribe to your blog. Every time a new entry comes out, they get notified either via email or through their RSS reader, which is built into certain email applications. And with a blog, you've got your article, and then you've got a comment section, so that people who have just read your blog can interact with you and write comments. Well, here's what I think of that. You know, you're full of it, or I agree with you, or have you thought, you know, when I posted that I was coming to Australia, got all kinds of people, hey, where are you going to be speaking, mate? And, you know, would love to come meet you, and don't stay in that part of town, that's expensive, and try the food here. They're interacting. It's all about relationship. You know, we get behind the computer and we think this is all about technology. It's all ones and zeros, and it's not. The internet, first and foremost, is about people, and it's about relationships. And if you're not building relationship with your current customers and your potential customers via your website, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity to grow your business.
And building the relationship, what do you see as some of the key ways to do that?
Well, always over-deliver, right? Give people more than what they're expecting. Provide excellent support and interaction when somebody has a question, answer it. And continue building the relationship beyond their initial interaction. For example, I'm a big fan of building mailing lists. So when somebody comes to my site, I like to offer something for free. Get this free 30-page report on building your blog. Put your name and your email address here. Well, now they're on my mailing list. I send them a download link for the blog, and now I can communicate with them via email anytime because I've got permission to do so. So I say, hey, I see you, you know, in a week I might say, I see you downloaded the ebook on blogging. Would you like to take your business to the next level and learn how to get your blog higher up in the search engines? I've got an ebook on that. It's $10. Here's the link.
And this is all done through autoresponders?
It's all autoresponders.
Yeah.
So now we're building that relationship, and we're getting them deeper into the funnel, right? They've got free, and now they're willing to pay for something because I've given them something for free. They know me, they like me, they trust me, and they're ready to buy from me. And after they've purchased that ebook, then they might be interested in taking it to the next level and purchasing my higher dollar course or coming to a seminar. And well, you understand how the whole funnel system works.
Yeah.
And,
now, what types of? I mean, it's the same in the live seminar business. It works exactly the same way as it does online. It's you see very few people that are doing both though, which is just kind of interesting. That they have
that's default for me, right? Because I fell into this. The funniest part is I got into building a website and writing online because I wanted some free computer games. I was reading a computer game magazine in 1994, and I thought to myself, I bet these guys get all these games for free, the reviewers. So I decided I'm going to do a newsletter. I'm going to call it the Dallas-Fort Worth Software Review. I know a little bit about Adobe PageMaker, which lets you lay out and design. I know how to scan an image, and I'm going to get on the phone with these software companies and say, hey, my name's Joel Comm. I'm the editor at the Dallas-Fort Worth Software Review, rag, you know, and I'd like to review your software. But before you know it, it was like Christmas every day at my house. I'm getting all these software packages. I think I can't review all this. So I went online and I said, and I posted to some forums. I said, this is before the web. I've got games that I need to review. I need writers. I can't afford to pay you, but you get to keep the game in exchange for the review. Well, I had like 40 people sign up like that. So the first printed newsletter I did on software reviews was this thing I home published. And then I learned about the web, and one of my writers said, why don't you take this into HTML and put it on the World Wide Web where everybody can see it, 1995. And that's how I got my start. So I was doing something that I was passionate about, which was computer gaming, you know. I'm 44 now, I'm still into computer games. Love it, it's a leisure activity for me, you know. And ended up doing something that was profitable for me. There was a book I read 20 years ago or so, Do What You Love, The Money Will Follow, which I modify a little bit because some people are in career choices that there's not always money.
Right, or they just expect it to follow because and it's by default and it doesn't really happen.
Right. Well, teachers and those who work for charitable organizations, they're not going to get paid a lot anyway. But do what you love, the reward will follow. Follow your passion, and I believe your path unfolds. If you're doing what you were made to do, does it not make sense that as you do that thing, life is going to open up opportunities in front of you?
No, for sure. And if you learn how to monetize it, then this is
All the mo better.
Mo better. So now you say a lot of your time now is spent teaching, which you like to do, being on stage, being on and traveling. Is that an important component to the money-making machine?
You know, it doesn't hurt because it introduces us to new customers, but I'm not one of those guys that's all over the place. I don't like to travel and speak a lot. I've got, you know, a wife and 2 kids, they're teenagers, still at home, and I don't want to be on the road all the time, so I'm very selective. You're the first one to get me to come to Australia.
To Australia, yeah. What was that? Well, I guess this is the first time you've been here, right?
Yeah, so I've turned down multiple engagements. I've still not gone to Asia. I say no all the time, but I'm about prepared to go now.
Just for the experience?
Yeah,
or is
for
it,
the experience. It's a lot of fun. I love meeting people, but if I stayed home, it would probably be more profitable for us. But you know, you got to do what you enjoy, right? And one of the biggest thrills for me is getting up in front of a room of people and sharing my experiences and inspiring them. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You want them to leave better than when they came, with more resources. Whether you want them to take heart that, you know, there's hope for them to do like we're doing, and change the world just a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, hey, I thank you so much for your time. And
Oh, it's my pleasure.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you even more because I think you got just a wealth of knowledge and thrilled to learn. How can people get in touch with you or find out more about you, or find out more about your courses?
Oh, easy. www.joelcomm.com.
That's with the COMM.
2 M's. Yeah, yes, it's my real name. I know you didn't ask, but it's my real name.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris.
it.